Going. Boom. Alright.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Igor, and today we are sitting with Adrian to talk about life in Russia, his experience here, his thoughts, what he has seen in Moscow, and I hope you like this video. So let's start it. Adrian,
Yes.
hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes. So please tell me, how you get here in Moscow? This is your first time when you are in Moscow or not?
Not my first time. I was here first 2014 to 2015. Then I went home for about 18 months, and then I came back September 2016, and I've been back here ever since. So
cool. So what was your first visit here? It was travel or it was a job?
for work. Short three-month contract.
3 months contract.
Yeah, and before that I was in Belgium, where I'd been studying for several years, and I took the contract. 3 months. I thought, if Moscow's scary, if it sucks, it's only 3 months. So, but then I ended up staying for a year. So, I guess it wasn't that bad.
So when you arrived in Moscow first time, the representative from our school, did they meet you here?
Yeah, the school that I worked for. This is common. They picked me up at the airport and drove me to a flat that they had arranged for me to live in. That's common with these English schools for the foreigners. They provide you with a flat. This flat was particularly Soviet-esque, if I may say so.
Babushka style.
There you go. That's the one. Yeah, way south on the Green Line, Domodedovskaya, and it was very basic and cozy. And I had two American flatmates, so it was very cozy.
So what is your first imagination about Russia? What did you think before you came in Moscow and then you came here? What was the difference?
I think Russia in popular imagination in the West, in Europe, in North America, Canada, the United States, is that it's kind of a lawless and scary place. I think people think they still think, people who are old enough still think about the Soviet Union and the Cold War.
What was scared? So
that was a long time ago.
So scared in
but
the
I
Soviet
think,
Union?
I think the older generations, those who can remember, we're still worried that Khrushchev was going to start pumping missiles into into Washington and New York City. No, I think that's still in people's imagination, and I think more recently, I think it's like the mafia, Russian mafia, the banditti run everything here still. I think that's popular imagination. So anyway, the
Have
point.
you met any bandit in Moscow?
I decline to answer this question.
What about the crime in the West? There's no crimes there.
No, that's not true. It's long story short. Okay, so
we know you're originally from Canada,
right? Yeah.
And from what city?
Toronto.
Toronto. Mm-hmm. And what about the crime situation there?
So that's what I wanted to say. Like, Moscow is a very safe city. Let's say that. I want to say
compare with Toronto. It's
yeah,
safe city.
and Toronto is considered to be one of the safest cities in all of North America, major cities. But I've been in neighborhoods in Toronto by accident where I'm like, I legitimately don't feel safe. I've never been in a neighborhood in Moscow where I thought I don't really feel safe. People talk about what's the name of that station, that neighborhood on the Purple Line, the southeast.
Doesn't
station,
matter.
whatever.
There's a lot of right now. There's more than 200 stations in Moscow.
Yeah. So people talk about this particular place as being a dangerous area, and I've been there 3 times, and I'm thinking,
or something like that.
No, that's in the northwest. I'm talking about this side. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So people say like, oh, that's like the Bronx of Moscow, and I've been there.
A lot of Africans stays there.
I thought to myself, no, this is not so scary. This is not so bad. But that the popular opinion of people who've never been to Russia is that Russia is a scary place, a lawless place.
Which you now know this is not true.
It's not true. Okay. However, my first experience, day 2 or day 3, living in my little flat, I got a knock at the door. It was like that kind of a knock, like very, very aggressive, and I thought to myself,
open, police come.
Yeah, exactly. I thought to myself, wow, is this how the world ends? And I just walked out of my room, and my one flatmate, there was only one flatmate, the other one was traveling at the time. He was looking through the keyhole, and I just thought, I said very quietly, like, who is it? And all his
It was
reaction,
daytime, nighttime?
daytime, late afternoon, mid to late afternoon. So he was looking through the keyhole, and then his reaction.
But you are two adult men. What you was afraid for?
Don't know. Well, so we're in a foreign country. You hear all these stories about how crazy Russia is, and all of a sudden there's somebody knocking on the door. I don't know if it's the police, if it's the FSB, if it's a bunch of gangsters. Could be anybody. Maybe they have sticks. I don't know. But anyway, so I said to my flatmate who's looking through the keyhole, I said, "Who is it?" quietly, and this is how he responded to it. So I knew something was terribly wrong, and they kept on knocking, like they wouldn't go away. It was, I don't know how long. I would want to say maybe they were there for 10 minutes, maybe 15. It felt
Did you
like
try
an hour.
to chat with them?
No. We're just be quiet. Like, we're not home.
But they recognize that somebody's inside.
I don't know if they did or not, because maybe they'd have to listen really closely to hear creaking on the floor, because we weren't really walking. We were just kind of like frozen, like no.
Two cats in the house.
Yeah. But so I remember just like sneaking around into the kitchen, and we were on the second floor, and on the first floor were shops, so there was like a little platform that you could walk on, and I'm thinking to myself, it's March, it was cold, and I was thinking to myself, well, how am I going to get out of this? Like, and I'm looking at knives, I had knives on the kitchen.
You were prepared in case you broke the door.
But I didn't know. So am I going to go with the knives, or am I going to escape out the window?
There were several options. Fight or run.
Yeah, fight or run. But those were the only two options. And to be honest with you, I think the knife option was the best one, because I wouldn't know where to go. And I was wearing pajamas and it was cold. I would go outside and I have no idea where to run to, you know?
Run to police? No? There's not a chance?
Yeah, so, but eventually they did go away, and they left a note. Curious. So they left a note, and we're like, well, maybe we should read the note. My flatmate was able to read Russian. But we thought maybe it's a trap, you know? Maybe they just left the note there and they're hiding around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, after a while, we're like, we should get that note, figure out what the hell's going on. So one of us opened the door, and the other one grabbed the note, and we slammed the door and locked it again.
So what was that?
Okay, and the note was from a bank, actually.
Okay.
A bank.
What's
Banks
the bank
in Russia.
from you?
I don't remember what bank it was, but the bank was trying to get in touch with a woman named Nastya. Not like there's too many of them, you know. It's 1 out of every 8 women in Russia, I think, is named Nastya. So that was the woman who lived there before us, and she owed this bank the equivalent of 600 USD. That's what that was all about.
That was the reason why they came here.
That was the reason. They're looking for their
They were
600
thinking
bucks.
that she living in the same flat as you.
Right. Yeah.
Which is not.
Yeah. But that just blew my mind that banks send people to your house to break your legs.
Don't
really.
take the money from a bank.
Yeah. I mean, back home.
What about the police? Have you ever had experience in contact with the police here? Do you know the phone number for a police? You know, in Russia,
Is it 112? Is
right.
Is
It's
it?
emergency call.
Emergency
for
no, I've never had any interactions with the police directly, but I had interactions with Ochrana,
security.
with security, at everybody's favorite place to shop for bargains, Auchan. You're familiar with Auchan, I think.
No.
Auchan?
Ashan.
Auchan. Oh, that's how you...
It's a retail chain, and one of the famous. It's actually international retail chain.
It's French, so in French it's pronounced Auchan.
You know, when I first time heard this Auchan, I was thinking that actually it's from south of Russia, because it has some names of the South Russian.
Yeah.
They're quite close, and they said, was there somebody rich enough from a south part of Russia, like Dagestan, Chechnya, and they opened a retail in Russia, but later when I more deeply read about it, I realized it's actually French.
It's French, yeah.
But perhaps it's Russians moved to France and opened this retail. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know about the origins of the place.
So what was happening with it?
All right. So long story short, I got accused of stealing. Mm-hmm. I didn't steal, by the way. Didn't steal. No, I didn't steal. It was the second. So this is after a month in Russia. 1 month later. after the guys at the door. So I went to buy weights. I wanted weights for home training, and it's in a suitcase. They come in a little suitcase, and I went, paid for it. They took the security, whatever you call it, took the security thing off, and off I go. I go through the whatever the detector, and the alarm went off. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, it's no problem. I know I didn't steal anything. I did have a backpack, but I know I didn't steal anything. I'm like, no problem. If you want to look through my backpack, go for it. So they open the suitcase, and half of the weights are actually missing. Yeah, but there is a set of lifting gloves inside.
You didn't remember how you took them, or what?
No, I didn't take them. I mean, I picked up the suitcase. It's locked. You can't open it. You can't open this because it's got a security.
When you was in cashier, don't you see what you're buying?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I just picked up the suitcase. Can't open it. So I just assumed everything was in there.
Okay. Somebody just put it inside.
Somebody from the factory probably did it. You know, who knows? I don't know. So there's no way that I can open it myself until the cashier, the seller takes the security thing off. So she takes the security thing off, and then I go through and the alarm goes off. So then
you tried this explain to them?
I didn't speak.
Using
I understood.
Google Translate.
I didn't have I knew 2 words in Russian at that time. I think spasibo, do svidaniya.
How do you communicate right now with the Russians? Do you know some words, phrases in Russian?
I'm much better now through practice with
Say something
dealing
in Russian.
Paket можно? Да, можно.
Okay.
Something like this.
Is it easy for Russians to recognize that you're a foreigner or not?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
They can see it immediately, even though you not open the mouth.
No. Oh, if I don't open my mouth, no. Then they just talk to me as if I'm a Russian. It's like, oh, sorry. I got nothing. Yeah.
So what was happening next?
Yeah. So okay. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, weights are missing. They need to get me a new one with the full thing. So the security guards come around, and the one guy they realized that I don't speak Russian, and then they said he goes go. So I'm thinking go. I'm gonna go to a place, and they're gonna give me a replacement with the full thing. But no, he took me to a jail cell that they have in Ashan. They
had a cell in Ashan.
They have jail cells in Ashan. At this one, anyway.
How good they are prepared for the Steelers.
But you know what? Yeah.
But anyone was there already?
Okay, so it looks like
it was empty. It was empty room.
It's not really a jail cell. It's a closet.
No. I mean, it was somebody
it
was
empty.
away.
No, that's the thing. He opens the door. It looked like a closet.
Okay.
It is a closet.
How big it was?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the size of this room, but narrow. You see, like this, but probably the
there
same
was a window
meters.
or TV.
No windows. No
TV?
windows. Nothing. And it was full of people. There would have been no place for me to sit, and they did not look.
This cell was full of people.
It was full of people.
So there's already some Steelers one inside.
Yes. I assume they were stealing. Yeah, I assume.
What they do is
I assume they were selling drugs.
Is it legal to keep the people in the cell? It's not a jail.
You tell me. I don't know.
I don't know. Here's a story from you. Just curious to know. Maybe they sold these people to slavery.
Yeah, maybe. So I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. So, well, either way, I knew I didn't want. I have 2 options. I can either go in there or I can resist. So how did I resist? I pulled out my phone and I just started acting important. Like I'm important. Like. I'm not going in there.
VIP.
Yeah, I'm a VIP. Just hold on. Let me call my people. Yeah. And so I called my boss named Sergey, and as soon as he picked up, I'm just like, Sergey, I got a situation here. Yeah, act like I'm really. You're inconveniencing me. Do you know who I am? Yeah.
So who you are? Tell me who you are. You know, it's a very common question in Russia when you're meeting with the clients. Just asking you who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. But it worked though. Like these security guards, they're starting to look like, oh, wait, who is this guy actually? And at one point, Sergey says, okay, put one of them on. So he's like, okay, you come here. Yeah, like I feel like I'm the one in power in this situation. Give him the phone, and I don't know what Sergey said, but whatever he said, he made the problem go away.
Okay.
I got an apology, and I got my money back. So
that's cool. This works. It's better than call to legal.
Yeah, better than spending who knows how long in a closet with 50 other guys.
But Is there a huge foreign community in Moscow? How do you think to communicate with other foreigners who live in Moscow? Do you help to each other? How's the relationship? Is the Canadian community here in Moscow?
Canadian community, no.
Toronto community.
No. But foreign, yeah, definitely. There's definitely a huge foreign community here. You just got to know where to find them. Mostly they communicate through Facebook. There's a lot of Facebook groups like Moscow Expatriates, Moscow Expats. There's like 13 of them. And it's a big expat community. And there's a lot of Russians who are like yourself, speak English and
do you share some tips to each other, or do you help to each other, loan the money or something? What kind? In the case I'm a foreigner, okay, I came in Moscow, and I want to get some help from expats also. What are you doing? What is your activity?
There's all kinds of activities. There's all kinds of like expat nights at different bars. There's a lot of expat bars here. A lot of guys came in the 90s, and they've been here ever since. Like a lot of guys from Canada, the United States, have been here since, in the 90s, and they opened up bars and
really.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners open at the bars here and restaurants, and they're still working? They've
been here for 30 years.
They're getting more like a Russian-style bar, or they still keeping this culture of Europeans?
No, it's more like American-style bars.
It's American-style bars, It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
When I lived in Thailand, some foreigners are there opening restaurants. I knew some Italian restaurants which was opened by native Italians, and they're doing very good cuisine, of course. I never been in Italy, but I walked to his restaurant for many times. I took all my friends there. I took some customers while I worked in property business to this restaurant because the food was quite amazing. I never eat something the same tasty as he did in his restaurant. The question is for me, is the American style restaurants or cafe existing in Russia when I can taste the American food or American cuisine or European cuisine? Is it existing?
Absolutely, everything, You don't have to go far. I mean, you walk down Novi Arbat, I think you see a lot of American cuisine. Burgers.
Sometimes, what I'm afraid is that, for me, it's for Russians, that when I came in some bar or restaurant when they have American style, it's not really American style. It's, it's a Russian who was in the US, or they search some picture of this in the internet, and they just trying to build the same style or something like that, and I'm trying to avoid this. Sometimes I don't care really, I just came in a place and I don't really care, is it American style, not American style, but sometimes it's really interesting to visit some places where it was made originally by Europeans, so Americans, just to feel this spirit of different country.
No, they exist, they do exist, I can tell you they exist. There's Papa's Place, there's Papa John's, that's pizza. But there is pretty easy to find too.
Let's get back to real time. What are you doing right now here in Moscow? You said that you came here in 2014 and you lived in 2014, then you came back in Russia. Now, how long do you stay here?
I've been here since September 2016, second time since, and I came back for the stand-up comedy scene, the English stand-up comedy,
But you're still working as a teacher and
teacher. And teacher by day, comic by night.
Comic by night.
Yeah.
It's good experience. Okay, Adrian, I think it's good enough for our first podcast. I hope you will happy to see this episode, and we will produce more episodes for you.
Absolutely.
And for us, of course.
And for us.
And have a good day, and bye-bye.